Hey, hot mamas, welcome to Crazy Sexy Menopause. It's so great to see you guys here today. Oh my goodness. Have you seen that commercial where the woman says, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up"? Well, today, that was a workout. So I hope y'all were dancing with me. But anyway, today we're going to show you how to keep from falling. So let's get into it. And what's up, Ellie? How you doing? Hi, Marianne. Hello, Angelo. And Kanisha, how's it going? I'm so glad to see you all here today. Excuse me. So, listen. All right. We gonna make it do what it do, y'all. We gonna make it do what it do. Anyway, I'm Betty Vargas. I know y'all are wondering, who the heck is this crazy woman? Anyway, I'm Betty Vargas of Crazy Sexy Menopause, and I educate pre-peri and postmenopausal women on how to live more vibrantly through better applications of my 3 keys: mindset, meals, and movement. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this particular topic today is, one, because I had an accident, but also I've been getting some information, or people have been contacting me about the subject of falling. They've known friends who have fallen, and so they're like, "Oh, you should do a video on this," and I'm like, "Okay." Now it's time for me to talk about it's time for me to talk about my issue and what happened to me, and be able to talk about it without having an issue. So in terms of like tears or anything like that. So let me just say what and I'm just gonna, for full disclosure, I'm just gonna tell you, Angelo just came in here and was fumbling around with the microphone. So I was like, what the heck is going on? Can they hear me? What's going on? Anyway, back to my story. So about 4 years ago, we had just gotten back from our honeymoon, and I was rushing to meet a client. I was race walking, and it was before daylight, and so I was race walking, and I accidentally missed the curb and face planted into a concrete wall. Yes. And so I was like, at first I couldn't believe what had happened to me. And I think I went into a little shock, because I couldn't remember for a minute what was going on. But I knew I had the presence of mind because it was so early in the morning, and I didn't want to be passed out in the street. So it was just that will to survive that had me pick myself up and get to the person that I was meeting. And so by the time I got to her, I was, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, I'm okay. And I told her what happened. I said, "Does my face look funny?" And, and she said, "What happened?" And I told her, and fortunately she had the presence of mind to say, no, we're not going to walk. I'm going to take you home. And that was when I kind of sort of like really, well, I didn't pass out, but I was more relaxed, and I leaned more into what had just happened to me. Now, fortunately, even though when the impact of the accident was such that I literally felt my brain shift in my head, in my skull, I didn't have a concussion. I did have some bruises to my face and my knees, but that was about it. And I can completely attribute that to weight training and my yoga practice. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here today, because I keep hearing about other women who have either fallen and had broken bones in some part of their body, or they have or they've just become debilitated after that incident. And so when I did a little more research, women are more at risk of breaking bones after 40, and it is due to the bone loss as our estrogen levels drop during menopause. And it also has something to do with the lack of movement and the lack of exercise and improper eating. So even though we begin to lose calcium in our bones, we can still do things to stave off that bone loss by doing weight-bearing exercises, and also doing some kind of yoga type of stretching. And so I'm going to show you 5 exercises that can strengthen your muscles. So if you happen to fall, it may be the difference between a bruise and a break. So let's get into it. Now the first, and I would love it if you would do these with me. Now, a couple of these exercises do require you to have a chair or something that you can use that will help you with your balance if you're having that type of an issue. If not, hey, let's get to it. Okay. Was that Angelo getting on his motorbike? No, those are my nosy people that live, that drive by where I live. Dang nabbit. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to stand with your feet hip distance apart, okay? Let me first turn on my microphone. Can you hear me? And I'm going to also change my direction so that you can get a better sense of my body and what I'm doing. So I'm a little better lit so you can see my feet and whatever. Okay, so you're going to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Now you're going to bring your hand over your head and your left hand over your head, and then lean to the left. Now you're not going to bend at the waist or at the hip or anything like that. You're just going to lean to the left, okay? Lean as far as you can go. Engage your abdominals. Bring that hand close to your ear. And when you get as far as you can, you want to lift that right leg. So lift that right leg off the floor. If your balance is compromised, you can always tap down to regain your balance and come back up. But you want to stay in this position and work your way up to about 2 minutes. Okay, get to this point and you're at 2 minutes, and then come back down and do the other side. Do you want to do the other? You want me to do the other side? Oh, looks and sounds good. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so that is the first one. That's a balance and reach exercise. Okay, so with that with that one said, you do that exercise for for on the left side, and then you switch to the right side. And then I'm going to go to the next exercise, and this one, excuse me, this one you're going to need your chair. I hope you guys are doing this with me. Okay. Oh, Marianne said, this will be part of my morning workout. Excellent. Very, very good. Okay, so now what, I'm going to turn this around. And so that you're standing facing your chair, and you're a relatively decent distance away from the chair, because you don't want to hold on to the chair with all your might and with a death grip on it. Yes, Kanisha. A lot of times we are asymmetrical, and that's fine. But and it's also knowledge, because you can strengthen the weaker side. So you want to work on stabilizing that side a little bit more, and trying to hold that position for a little longer than the stronger side, just until you get to the point where you can hold it equally on both sides. Okay, so we're standing with our feet hip distance apart. Again, we're leaning towards the chair, and what you want to do is you want to bring your left arm up. You want to bring your left arm over your head and bring that your right leg out behind you. Okay, so now you're engaging your abdominals. You're just barely tapping the back of the chair, and you're holding it. You're leaning forward, holding it, and then coming back down, and then you're repeating on the other side. Okay, so it's basically it's opposite arm and leg, and coming back down. And you want to hold this. You want to continue for up to 2 minutes, alternating with your right arm, your left leg, your left arm, your right leg. You keep doing that. Now, if this is too easy for you, then you want to get rid of the chair, okay? And then you want to do it without the aid of the chair, okay? So you've got to focus. You really focus on keeping that leg up and your arm up, and you're not bending at the waist, you're not bending at the hip. You're keeping your whole body, so you're basically like a pendulum. Okay? And bringing it down. And so that's what you want to do. You want to keep that spine in a neutral position, and stay as stiff as possible, and then when you lean back, when you're leaning into the position and coming back down. And this also might look familiar to you, because many people do it on their hands and knees. Okay, so you're typically on all fours, and then you bring, it's like the bird dog. So you bring that one leg up and out, and then you come back in. So, but you're on your hands and your knees. But this particular one focuses on your balance. So, such a simple movement. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting a good sweat. Very good. And these are the ones that are really, really important. And if you go slow, you definitely, your heart rate will begin to increase. You will begin to sweat, but your focus, you have to focus on what it is that you're doing with these particular exercises. Now, we're going to do a standing twisting lunge. So we're going to bring back the chair again. Now, for this one, you're going to stand behind the chair because you're going to lunge forward. Okay, so you're going to lunge forward with that right leg. And come away from your chair because it's just there for balance if you need it. It's not there for you to help you with this, to do the movement. So you're going to have your front leg parallel to the floor, and then you bring your back leg is also at a 90-degree angle. Then you bring your left hand behind your head, and then you twist your entire upper body towards your chair. Okay, you twist, hold it for about 5 seconds, and then come back to front. And you do it again. You repeat, and keeping those abdominals engaged, and coming back. And then you do that for about a minute, and then you repeat it on the other side. So Ellie says, actually good for me too. Ella, very good. Oh, you say these will be good for my older clients to build. Exactly. That is exactly correct. Because who wants to feel like they, if you go out, you're gonna, you have to hold on to something all the time, or you're looking for the next thing to hold on to because you're afraid you're going to fall. And so doing these particular exercises give you a little empowerment. They get you in a position where you feel like you can get out and do something. Be sure to like it. Thank you, Kanisha. Excellent. I appreciate you for that. So this one was a challenge for me too, because I'm like, okay, this one is like, you don't hold on to anything. So get ready, y'all. So you're standing with your feet hip distance apart. Now you want to lift. You're standing on your right leg. There's a little gap in my mat here, so I'm moving over. But you're standing on your right leg, and then you really, at this point, you want to focus on a spot on the floor or something stationary in front of you, just to spot yourself. So you want to bring that left leg up so that your thigh is parallel to the floor. Now you bring your hands into prayer position and point them away from your body. And then you begin making figure eights, holding your abdominals tight and moving your entire upper body, following your hands with your eyes. And this is a challenge for your balance, I'm telling you. And so you want to work up to about 2 minutes on one leg, and then shake that leg out, and then do the other side. And you want to keep that your legs as stiff as possible through this exercise, because you're working on your balance. So, did anybody do that one? Because you have to work your arm. You're working your arms. You're working your core. You're leading with your hands, but you're following with your core and your eyes and your head. So all of this, if you want to start getting into this motion first, you start doing this initially, and then making those figure eights, keeping your abdominals tight, and then lifting up that leg and adding that leg to it. Okay, so that's helpful. It is, yes, it is hard. It really is hard. Now, if you weren't sweating before, you should be sweating now. I'm telling you. Okay, so the next one, the last one is basically it's a squat and a twist. So you want to keep your feet hip distance apart. Yeah, about hip distance apart. And you want to squat down, okay? Keeping your head up. Now, if you have an issue with getting into the squat, do a quarter squat, and then get close to the wall. So when you bend over, you're basically touching the wall, so you're not losing your balance. And you want to get to this point. You do it with with your butt up against the wall until you can do it without the wall. Then you bring your hands over your head or behind your head. So you're in the position, your hands are out to the side, your abs are tight, and then what you want to do is twist all the way to the right, come back to center, twist all the way to the left, and keep going. And you do this, you alternate from right and left for 1 minute, okay? And then you come up, you shake those legs out, and do it again. And so that's another one. So I'm giving you 5 exercises that you can do to work on your balance. And so the first one was the balance and reach. Okay, that was the first one. And then this is also, well, it's a skating balance and reach, but I also use this particular exercise as a drill for my race walking students. And we do it now this is also a progression. So if you don't need the chair, if you've done it like this, and that's not a challenge for you, then here's another challenge for you to try. So you've got your right leg back. This is your bonus. Right leg back, left arm forward, leaning forward. You come down, bring your elbow almost to your knee. Without touching the floor, come back up and repeat that. And you repeat this movement for about a minute, or you can do 10 repetitions and then repeat on the other side. And so that's your bonus for today. And then we had the standing twist lunge, and then the twisting motion with the figure 8. And then we had the squat and the twist. So, what did you think about those exercises? Marianne said, woo! Did you like those exercises? What did you think? Will you do them? Will you incorporate them into your routine? Because they're not standalones. What you can do is you can use them in addition to the exercises that you already do. So Kanisha says, Will this give me nice legs? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. You get some good legs, and then yes, it'll actually tone up those thighs, absolutely. And Marianne, it's such great exercises to start in the morning. It absolutely, absolutely. In addition to, and you can do them not necessarily as warm ups, but as finishers to some of your exercises that you do, and because they work both your upper and your lower body, they're really great exercises, and you're not doing them for a long period of time, so they would constitute as being finishers to add to any kind of program. So I'm absolutely, I'm loving this. I'm glad that you guys were engaged with them, with the exercises, and that you plan to incorporate them in your exercise routines. Is there anything else, any other questions that you have with regard to these exercises? Okay. Yes, absolutely. Especially as we age. You know, sometimes even me, I didn't think that I had an issue with my balance because I was practicing yoga. But, you know, if you don't do it every day, then you begin to lose some of that flexibility in your joints and in your fascia. And so, and your muscles actually. So, when I started after my accident, I really wasn't doing a lot of exercising. And then when I began to start my yoga practice again, there were balance exercises that I was like, holy crap, this was absolutely nothing for me before, and now it's a challenge. And you can absolutely do them barefoot. You can do it would be easier to do them barefoot, because I found myself, I have my sneakers on, and I was a little wobbly. I don't know if you could see that. I was a little wobbly, but when I did them, when I practiced these exercises barefoot, I had no problem. And so, try them both ways and see which way is best for you. So, anyway, I can go on about the benefits of balance, and definitely as we age, but I really want you to focus on doing them and doing them regularly, because even if you don't have balance issues, you may have, if you don't do anything, you may have balance issues, and who knows, you never know when you're going to fall. And so you really want to be able to, if you, God forbid, happen to fall, lose your balance and fall, you want to be able to have that strength to get up, or to know how to fall, or have the strength in your muscles and your bones to recover, so that you're not breaking a bone. Yes, good for the bare feet muscles. No, you definitely don't want to grip the toes. Oh, yeah. Oh, very good, Marianne. I am, I like I said, I did them barefoot earlier, and you definitely want to keep your feet flat on your mat, and not like gripping for dear life in the floor, because that can throw you off balance. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And by all means, share this with your friends. Share this with your friends, and see you next time. And always remember, it's your life. Live it well.